All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Here we are. This is game number 2 here between DeMusliM and IdrA. This time we are on the map Crevasse. Over here in the upper left-hand position, our light blue player, DeMusliM. And yeah, that's our light blue Terran player. I don't know what else I had to say. And then down over here in the lower right-hand position is IdrA as the green Zerg player. And yes, this is game number 2 between these two players. IdrA managing to win that first game. We saw DeMusliM go for a very, very risky quick third expansion, and then he pushed out, attempting to go with a marine tank contain against IdrA. IdrA was able to break that contain, push out against DeMusliM's third, easily mop it up, killing off a ton of SCVs. And then from that point forward, IdrA just prevented DeMusliM from getting up a third, kept him on those 2 bases, and kept up constant harass. It was absolutely beautiful. It was a great game by IdrA. He really did a fantastic job, and the key moment was breaking that contain. In breaking that contain, IdrA was allowed to do everything else that he needed to do, saturating his own third, moving into his fourth, and then, as I mentioned, taking out DeMusliM's third and containing him from that point forward, just by keeping up the constant harass. Because what happens is, you know, IdrA is always he was doing speedling, dropping, plus muta harass inside of DeMusliM's main. This forces DeMusliM to keep the bulk of his forces between his main and his natural, just so he doesn't end up losing all his production buildings. And since he was spread thin as it was, going for that quick third, he just didn't have enough forces to push out and properly defend when he attempted that third again at that high yield. And there you go. That's exactly what happened. So great play by IdrA. Unfortunate situation there for DeMusliM. Hopefully this game DeMusliM can turn it around, though, for his own benefit. We do have IdrA right now moving up into the upper right position with that first Overlord. Very quick expansion coming out here for IdrA as well. That was either a 14 or 15 hatch. Didn't actually catch wind of which one of those 2 it was. But either way, going hatch first here. Here in Crevasse, having that in-base expansion really allows you to go macro heavy. I wouldn't be actually all that surprised if DeMusliM ends up going 1 Rax expand, maybe opening up with some Reapers. It's quite possible. We'll have to see, though. All things are possible. He may not do that. But this map definitely lends itself to macro style play, just because you do have that nice and safe and protected quick expansion inside your main base. Especially as a Zerg player, I mean, it pretty much guarantees that this expansion is going to get up nice and safe. Much more difficult for a opponent to get up any pylon or bunker harass or anything like that when you just have this right inside of your main, as opposed to out front there, where the natural expansions typically are. So there we go right now. First Marine moving out across the map there for DeMusliM. DeMusliM, how much scouting has he gotten done? Looks like that 1 SCV checking that upper right. He's moving with the lower right position with that first Marine, and he should be getting the scout there against IdrA. We are seeing that transfer of a few workers right now. We'll be getting a little bit of mining going on at that natural in-base expansion. And what do we have over here for DeMusliM? Looks like it will be, in fact, Quick Factory. And we should be seeing a tech lab, a reactor here is what I mean to say as well. And there it is. DeMusliM will be opening up with Hellions just like he did last game. And he may very well be going for that same style build, Hellion first into expand. I mean, that certainly is quite probable, and it looks like that will be the case. You can see pulling guys off of that refinery, just having 1 guy mining right now. He's just trying to get enough minerals to get that quick expansion up ASAP, and that's exactly what's going to be happening. Now here comes the push right now, and actually attempting a little bit of bunker harass. That's going to get countered by these 2 Zerglings. We actually got 6 more coming out. There we go, forced to cancel it, and DeMuslim's not going to be able to push up against this many Zerglings. There's way too much right now. 2 more about to pop. We're going to have a total of 8 Zerglings, and that's way more than is necessary to be able to deal with this. So right now, IdrA going to be all set, and some nice Marine micro, though. 3 kills in that one already. Very nice play there by DeMusliM, taking out a few guys in the process. Let's take a quick look right now. DeMusliM is, of course, behind at the moment, but was able to abit it. And look again! Yet again, DeMusliM, oh my gosh, going for that quick third. This is probably one of the riskiest things he could possibly be doing. On this map in particular, look how vulnerable this expansion is. It is incredibly vulnerable. How is he going to defend it? He will just be relying on these Hellions. But look at this. What do we have right now for IdrA? That's a Roach Warren. So these Hellions will be great at defending this expansion against these Speedlings. But those Roaches, not so much. You know, DeMusliM will have a huge problem against those Roaches if we see any sort of early push from IdrA. If IdrA stays on these 2 bases and pushes out very strong, that could be devastating. Look at this, saving up a few of these larvae here, and here come those first 5 Roaches, and uh-oh, IdrA. Oh man, we're on a macro-friendly map, but IdrA is playing very aggressive early on, pushing out with 7 Roaches. he could be getting 1 or 2 more, but after those roaches, I expect him to be just massing up those speedlings. The idea is get enough roaches to bust, and then those speedlings to overwhelm, and I think that's going to be his plan. DeMuslim's expansion is pretty much already guaranteed dead. There's really not much he's going to be able to do to defend against this very strong push coming from IdrA. Hopefully, at the least, we see DeMuslim get the scouting that is necessary, and there we go. The Hellions pushing forward. Do get one shot by those roaches. Another shot, actually, DeMuslim with that missed micro, but now he knows this is coming, so how is his response? I expect him to lift this off and pull it back up, because there is no way in Hades that he's going to be able to save this expansion coming from what's going on right now. Very strong push. He's trying to get a few kills off on those Zerglings, basically trying to help thin up those numbers before the bulk of the force gets over here, and looks like he just is going to be letting that orbital finish and then probably lifting it off. But here we go, IdrA getting ready to bust right now. We've got an attempted bunker coming up, but this is a little bit late. Watch these roaches go to town. Those 2 marauders are going to help quite a bit, but there's the force liftoff. Roaches will be, oh, what are they doing? Sacrificing themselves, walking up to those marauders right there. They need to be taking down these depots, and oh my gosh, very nice defense so far here by DeMuslim. There was actually absolutely impeccable timing there in that scout and IdrA. The quick GG, unreal, absolutely unreal. So with that scout, DeMuslim able to spot the fact that that roach push was coming, allowed him to pump out those marauders, and given the very nature of this map with that extra wall and this very large destructible debris, it allowed DeMuslim to be able to get a little bit of extra time and not taking as much damage here on those initial frontal depots. And those marauders used to target fire down those roaches, and those Hellions used to target fire down those speedlings, basically took out this push here from IdrA. And even though IdrA still had a few speedlings left, and we could have said, hey, you know, he could have pushed up there, as we can see there are really enough Hellions to quickly take care of this small amount of speedlings, and IdrA going for this 2 base, very strong early push, realize, you know, it's kind of all in-y, and if it doesn't work, I'm so far behind, and that's exactly what happened. IdrA decided at that point, in not breaking the frontal wall of DeMuslim here, IdrA decided the game's just over, so might as well leave now. Alright guys, that was game number 2 here between DeMuslim and IdrA. We will be moving on to game number 3 in just one moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.